Good evening, readers. It's Tilly here from Tilly's Shelf. I have got like a candle set up today because I'm trying to create a little bit of solstice-y atmosphere, and also because you really don't want to see my face or my hair or just my general self, because I've been working nights and then I did some last minute Christmas shopping and then I fell asleep on the sofa for an hour and then I decided to film a video. So I look a little bit frazzled, hence candle disguise. But it's okay because I have a legitimate solstice reason for the candles, and Luna wants to come and join me. I'm a little bit worried that she's going to set herself on fire on the candles. So I wanted to get a video done today because this video is like temporally linked to this date in time. So if I filmed it tomorrow, it would just be a little bit pointless, and I hope that I won't upload it tomorrow because, again, a little bit pointless. Today is Friday the 21st of December, and that means it's a couple of different things. So it's the last Friday before Christmas, and for us it's also the last payday before Christmas. So understandably, this is a day when people do tend to go out, maybe see some friends and have a bit of a drink and have some fun, which is lovely and festive. For us at work, we were talking last night about how this makes it Mad Friday because it's actually one of the single worst nights of the year for the NHS in terms of like the winter pressures period, purely because people can overindulge a little bit and put themselves and others at risk. So all I can say is if you're heading out tonight, take care of yourself and take care of the people around you, because it's a wonderful thing to have some Christmassy fun, but nobody wants to wind up in hospital a couple of days before Christmas. So look after yourselves. This is my public health announcement for the night. But today is also the winter solstice, and it's the shortest day of the year. So what I thought I would do is just a very easy, lazy video. Essentially, I'm just going to read you a poem. It's a short but very bleak poem, and it was written for the shortest day of the year. It's actually titled St. Lucy's Day, which is apparently December the 13th, but the subtitle says specifically being the shortest day, and today is the shortest day. So I'm not quite sure where that came from, but I'm going to go with it being the shortest day today and ignore the St. Lucy's part. So the poem is A Nocturnal upon St. Lucy's Day being the shortest day of the year, and it's by John Donne, who was an English kind of Petrarchan poet, roughly contemporary to Shakespeare, who I was lucky enough to study very briefly at college, so age kind of 16 to 17. So these are my notes on this poem from way back in 2011. I am not going to read these notes to you, and I'm not going to try and do any kind of interpretation of this poem. I am really definitely very happy to talk to you about this poem more in the description. If you have any thoughts about it, I would love to hear them. But today is just lazy, just reading it out loud, basically. So John Donne is one of my favourite poets. I know I was just talking about how much I hate calling things favourites, but if I was going to name at the moment my absolute favourite poem, without a doubt, right now in time, which obviously changes frequently, like don't hold me to this, basically, it would be Sonnet 10 by John Donne, which is Death Be Not Proud. I think about that poem regularly when I'm working in sort of particular situations, and it has been a support to me in a way that I never thought a work of literature could be. It is, of course, about death, and in my head I change one tiny word to take out the idea of heaven, which is not something that I believe in. And then the poem is kind of perfect for helping me to understand what I'm working with, I suppose, in a way that functions to me. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about Death Be Not Proud today. So the Nocturnal upon St. Lucy's Day is also about death and bereavement, and it is by no means a light-hearted poem. It's not like all Christmassy cheer, so I warn you now, it does have major themes of grief and lost love and unhappiness. I believe it was composed by Donne following the death of his wife, who he apparently loved very dearly and passionately. He actually, according to my notes, went to prison for marrying her, and once he was released, they moved away together and had many children over the course of about 16 years, and then she sadly passed away relatively young, as women often did in those days, particularly if they'd had loads of children and really exhausted their physical bodies. So this poem is all of Donne's despair, the loss of his wife, and it is tied to this idea of the darkest day of the year, and it's set at dusk on that day, which is exactly where we are now. It's just a little bit beyond dusk, it's actually quite dark now. Okay, so I won't say any more than that. I will just go ahead and read the poem. I'm getting it from the Poetry Foundation website. A Nocturnal upon St. Lucy's Day. 'Tis the year's midnight, and it is the day's, Lucy's, who scarce 7 hours herself unmasks. The sun is spent, and now his flasks send forth light squibs, no constant rays. The world's whole sap is sunk. The general balm the hydroptic earth hath drunk, wither as to the bed's feet life is shrunk. Dead and interred, yet all these seem to laugh, compared with me, who am their epitaph. Study me then, you who shall lovers be at the next world, that is, at the next spring, for I am every dead thing, in whom love wrought new alchemy, for his art did express a quintessence, even from nothingness. From dull privations and lean emptiness, he ruined me, and I am rebegot of absence, darkness, death, things which are not. All others from all things draw all that's good, life, soul, form, spirit, whence they being have. I, by love's limbeck, am the grave of all that's nothing. Oft a flood have we two wept, and so drowned the whole world us two. Oft we did grow to be two chaoses, when we did show care to aught else, and often absences withdrew our souls and made us carcasses. But I am by her death, which word wrongs her, of the first nothing an elixir grown. Were I a man, that I were one, I needs must know, I should prefer if I were any beast. Some ends, some means ye plants, ye stones detest and love, all some properties invest. If I an ordinary nothing were, as shadow a light and body must be here. But I am none, nor will my sun renew. You lovers, for whose sake the lesser sun at this time to the goat is run to fetch new lust and give it you, enjoy your summer all. Since she enjoys her long night's festival, let me prepare towards her, and let me call this hour her vigil and her eve, since this both the year's and the day's deep midnight is. I think that's a pretty powerful poem to me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I went a bit over the top on the reading because that's how poetry should be read. So the other thing that I was going to say was I made some Christmas decorations on here a while ago in the Pondering Pottery video, I think. And sadly they didn't get done in time, and I think the way that I glazed them probably won't have come out very well. But I did make some others that were more kind of like basic, just like cut out ones. So if I hold it maybe with the light, I think it was transparent over Temako glazed on white stoneware. And I was like relatively pleased with the way that came out. So I thought I would just show you that for a little bit of winter seasonal spirit. So take care of the festive period. Happy Solstice and Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy any reading you are doing at the moment, and I will speak to you soon.